Imagine you're put in a situation where the next decision you make could change the course of your very existence. The pressure of this choice would likely fill you with overwhelming feelings of anxiety and dread, right? But little did you know, instead of making a terrifying, life-altering decision, you're actually about to play a game. A game you've been playing your entire life but you didn't even know it. And knowing how to play the game will greatly increase your chances at winning. Doesn't sound so scary now, does it? In fact, there's a mathematical philosophy about this game that dictates how and why we make decisions based upon the situation we're in. And you may have even heard of this philosophy in its more commonly known name, game theory. Game theory is the study of how and why people make decisions about their situation. It usually applies to scenarios where the outcome of one person's choice depends on the actions of others. In reality, it can be used to better understand our entire existence. Our existence is an accumulation of the choices we have made throughout our entire lives. Deciding whether or not you want to get out of bed in the morning, talk to the cute girl at your local coffee shop, or determine the career path you want to endure are all decisions that have shaped you into the person you are today. Even clicking on this video was a conscious choice that you had to make based on the information you were provided. In essence, game theory serves as a powerful tool for understanding the strategies and motivations behind our everyday choices. Choices that ultimately make us who we are. By understanding the principles of game theory, we can gain valuable insights into human behavior and the choices that we make. To better comprehend game theory, we first need to understand what a game is. In simple terms, a game is like a puzzle or challenge that involves making choices. Games typically involve players, choices, outcomes, and rules. The most popular game in game theory is called the prisoner's dilemma. Suppose you and your friend have both been arrested for committing a crime. You are each placed in different cells and are unable to communicate with the other person. The police officer offers both of you the choice to either remain silent or snitch on the other person. If you both remain silent, you will both serve only 1 year in prison. If you both accuse one another, you will each serve 3 years in prison. And if one of you blames the other and the other remains silent, the suspect who remains silent would serve a maximum of 5 years in prison, while the one who snitched would be set free. Now this game poses an interesting dilemma, no pun intended, because if you both cooperate with each other and neither person snitches, you will each serve only 1 year. Sounds like a mutually beneficial situation, right? But after thinking about it more, a worry slowly creeps in the back of your head. What if I remain silent and my friend testifies against me? As this worry becomes stronger and stronger, you realize that the smartest solution is to act in your own best interest. So you decide to testify against your friend. And seeing that your friend is a rational person, they can follow the same logic too. This brings us to a point called the Nash equilibrium. A Nash equilibrium is the point where no player can improve their outcome by changing their given strategy. The Nash equilibrium to the prisoner's dilemma is that both you and your friend testify against one another. This is because no matter what each of you decide, testifying will lead to a maximum sentence of 3 years with the possibility to get let off free, whereas remaining silent leaves you with the possibility of serving the maximum 5-year term. In this game, testifying is the safest option considering both players don't know what the other person might do, even though remaining silent is the most mutually beneficial outcome. The prisoner's dilemma teaches us that many situations will never reach a perfect outcome. In almost any situation you find yourself, there will be a winner and a loser. Based on the information you've gathered, you are inclined to make the choice that provides the best possible outcome. So how does game theory dictate the decisions and interactions in our everyday lives? Picture this scenario. You're at a restaurant with friends trying to decide what to order. It may seem like a simple choice, but behind it lies a complex game of strategy. Each person has their own preferences, dietary restrictions, and budget considerations. And everyone at the table wants to have a satisfying meal and enjoy each other's company. Do you go for your favorite dish, risking that someone else might order the same? Or do you opt for something else, perhaps less desirable, but ensuring no one orders the same thing? This seemingly mundane decision is an example of game theory, where each individual must weigh their preferences against the actions of others. From social gatherings to business negotiations, the principles of game theory are deeply ingrained in our daily interactions, shaping the outcomes of our choices in ways we may not even realize. Ultimately, game theory teaches us the value of strategic thinking in shaping behavior. By analyzing the incentives, payoff structures, and potential outcomes of our actions, we can make more effective decisions in our various aspects of life. Understanding this allows us to navigate the complexities of everyday interactions with greater insight and confidence.
We've tried everything, but this cop won't listen to reason.
While the prisoner's dilemma teaches us a lot of important things about human behavior and decision making, there's a fundamental flaw when trying to apply it to our normal lives. The prisoner's dilemma is what we call a non-cooperative game. In the game, you and your friend are not allowed to communicate with each other, forcing you to make a decision that leads to an inefficient outcome. But in real-life scenarios, this is almost never the case. Let's look back at the restaurant example from earlier. Rather than making assumptions about what your friends might order, you start by discussing the menu options. taking into account each person's likes and dislikes. There's negotiation and compromise as you consider sharing appetizers, choosing dishes that accommodate everyone's dietary needs, and ensuring there's a variety of options to please everyone's taste. Through communication and compromise, you successfully make everyone at the table happy. In this revised example, rather than each individual looking out for their own best interests, the collective satisfaction of the group is prioritized instead. While each person may not have ordered exactly what they wanted, the satisfaction of eating a meal with the group makes them just as happy. Diving deeper into cooperative game theory tells us a lot about the evolution of human empathy. While it's often debated whether empathy is innate or acquired, what we can agree on is that empathy is a complex, multifaceted behavior that develops over time. We as humans are not born to practice and understand empathy. Consider a newborn baby. At 2 a.m., a baby cries without any awareness of how this impacts those around it. The baby's need is immediate and self-centered, a survival mechanism. It isn't until much later in its development that a child begins to understand the concepts of others' needs and feelings, and even longer until it understands the value of something from its parents' perspective, like sleep.
I just got out of prison.
Really?
In cooperative game theory, individuals make decisions that consider not only their own outcomes, but also the outcomes of others. This mirrors how empathy evolves. As we grow, our interactions with family, friends, and society teaches us how to recognize and value the feelings and needs of others. In this sense, empathy can be seen as a strategic advantage developed through social interactions. Just as players in a cooperative game learn to work together for mutual benefit, humans learn empathy as a key skill for successful social cooperation. This learned empathy allows us to predict others' actions, respond appropriately, and build trust, crucial elements in any cooperative situation. As we get older, the importance and understanding of game theory becomes increasingly more prevalent. Our existence is made up of the series of choices and actions we make throughout our lives. The result of these actions creates a web of moments and memories which ultimately form you. And not only are our lives impacted by our own choices, but also the choices of those around us. Studying game theory helps us better understand the why behind, well, everything. Being armed with this knowledge will help you make more conscious choices, leading to a happier, healthier existence. So next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, consider what you've learned here today and try to make the best decision possible. And if you enjoyed watching this video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content coming soon. Thanks.